if you're aware what the MBTI is and you know your own MBTI. Please keep your hands up if you know what your zodiac sign is. Hi, can I ask for your zodiac sign? Sure. Thank you. Now, by answering my question, you guys have unconsciously sorted yourselves into different boxes. And this begs the question, if we're all human beings, why must we separate ourselves in that way? Now, of course, by talking about this topic, I myself know my own MBTI and my zodiac sign. And when I first did the tests, I felt that those results were weirdly and scarily accurate. It was almost like someone had been watching me my whole life. And yet, at the same time, I felt seen, I felt understood. And I feel like this is a feeling that a lot of us get when we get a result from personality tests exam. And guess what? It's actually designed to be that way. Our brains are lazy, and I don't mean that in an offensive way. It's just that in this constantly chaotic world around us, our brain constantly tries to find shortcuts that helps us understand things faster or learn things more optimally, and understanding ourselves is part of that process. That's why labels such as introverts and extroverts, leaders and followers arise, because whichever one you identify with, it brings you this sense of safety that you understand what you're talking about. And yet this comes at a cost. Now, labels often start as mirrors where we can learn more about ourselves, learn more about the people around us, or if you're like me, just to pique your general interest. And yet, over time, brick by brick, there's this wall that forms of labels. And walls don't just protect you, they also isolate you from the people around you. So, sometimes when you're so absorbed into these labels, you start really seeing people for who they really are, and instead you really care about the fact that, oh, you're a Gemini. And situations of this arise such as, oh, we can't really get along because I'm a Cancer and you're a Gemini. And the worst part is, at some point, people start believing that the label is all they really are and all they really ever will be. I can't be a leader because I'm an introvert, or I can't be good at maths because I'm a business major. And in some way, as these labels start to stack, it can feel very isolated, it can feel very lonely, and it's basically like you're stuck in a cage, a dark, gloomy cage that you can't really escape. So, why do we do it anyway? First is identity. By having a label, we identify ourselves as something. And in this constantly changing world, being able to say, I'm this type of person, this is who I am, feels like a concrete fact that we understand something about the world. Second is belonging. Now, for example, if I'm at a networking event and I talk to 5 consecutive business majors, the 6th person comes up and it's suddenly an engineering major. Of course, I'll feel that instant connection between me and them. And of course, this feeling feels good, but also, if you haven't realized, it's also rather cult-like. Last but not least is using the label as an excuse. Do you ever find yourself saying, I'm an introvert, so I don't really want to socialize at this party? That's me, by the way. That's what I'm talking about. You use your labels as an excuse to avoid certain things, to not get out of your comfort zone. And getting out of your comfort zone, as we all know, is essential to growing as a human being. So it's not really your fault though, because it's the boxes and the classification that we're so used to that makes us feel this way sometimes. And when we over-classify people, we not only grow not curious, but we don't really ask people questions like, how's your life? How do you grow up? We just ask what's your type, and we decide that, oh, okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Or perhaps we feel we limit their growth to a certain extent, such as, oh, you're an INFP, so you're instantly shy, and I don't think you will ever be anything but shy. And in a way, that's just us hindering their potential growth. And lastly, we forget that beneath all of those labels and titles, we're all still just human beings who want to belong, we want to matter and we want to be seen. That's why I would like to leave the last note. Labels are not something that is inherently evil, as long as you use it as a mirror to understand yourself, understand those around you, or just learn more. But if you use it as a cage, it feels isolated, and it doesn't really benefit anyone, even yourself. So the next time when you're doing your personality test, I want you to stop for a second and think, does this actually help me, or does it actually limit me? Next time you meet someone new, be curious. Ask them questions, and you will be surprised. Ultimately, we're more than our labels, we're more than our types, and you and I, we are all humans that are more complex than any four-letter word combination can be